Hello everyone, Austin Becker here again, and today I'm actually giving a 6-month review on my 2014 Ford Focus hatchback in sterling gray, and it is actually a 5-speed manual, which is kind of hard to find nowadays, considering that most things are not. So it's actually kind of a rare car from the sense that they made a lot of automatic vehicles, but not too many manuals. And the manuals are definitely the ones to have, not only for the fun factor, but also for just overall less transmission issues, transmission maintenance, etc. So today I just kind of want to give you guys a 6-month update on this car, as well as just a quick review for those of you who are looking into purchasing a Ford Focus of this era, or anything else kind of from this time period. Again, this definitely is much better built than most Focuses before this time period. But overall, I gotta say, I've only, like I said, I've driven several stick cars in the past, and this is my first time really owning one, really getting it down so it's more second nature. And I gotta say, it's definitely been a treat being with this car because of how easy the clutch is to read, how smooth everything is, how just effortless the throws are. Everything is just buttery smooth. It goes in nicely into every gear. If I'm going into fifth, we'll say here, just bam, easy shifts. Very easy to find the gears. I know in some Hondas, for example, it's a little bit harder because the gears are so closely spaced together. But in this car, it actually makes it kind of nice that they're actually a little bit farther apart, especially when you're learning as a beginner. And so I would definitely recommend this if you're looking at something that's a little bit newer, that's gonna still have that fun factor, because again, this has a very nice quick steering ratio. This has very good steering. Well, I don't know about good steering feel, but because it is an electric rack. But as far as just the quickness and the accuracy is spot on. Like I said, the stick definitely makes it a lot more fun to drive. Just overall, it's been a wonderful car to own for the past 6 months. Now, do I wish it had more power? Yes. Is this a peppy engine? For the most part. It's not as rev happy as some of the Hondas that I've driven. Now, I've driven several cars in the past with the stick, including Mitsubishi Eclipses, Honda Civics, Honda Elements, Honda Accords, some Nissans even. I've driven a couple Toyotas that are stick, like the little Corollas. So just quite a variety. But I would have to say that yes, Ford and Honda, in my opinion, make some of the greatest manuals on the planet. They're very, very easy to read. They are a lot of fun to drive. They are, for the most part, pretty friendly as a beginner platform, for people when they're really wanting to know, again, what gear to be in, how does the engine kind of, rev out, different things like that. It's a nice way of looking at it, and this car, I think, provides a wonderful platform to start with as far as just learning, getting to know things. If you're going to use it again as like a commuter car, I think this is a very good option. Definitely, this little 2-liter has and any of the economy cars for that matter usually get wonderful gas mileage. And so for me, I'm traveling quite a bit with my current job situation, and this car has made it very nice to kind of have a vehicle that not only is fairly fun to drive, it's smooth, overall, pretty much with the power band. It's very smooth on the road, especially if you get nice tires and stuff. But it's just a very nice setup as far as being a economy car. It's actually built, like I said, it still is kind of got like the plastic materials on different things and kind of different surfaces, but it's a very nice car for what you get. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest here, I paid less than $5 grand for this car, and part of that is because the miles right now, I have 141,000 miles on this Focus, and the fact that it's a stick. I think that, you know, usually people are kind of not as intrigued, so to speak, to purchase a stick when they know that it's a little bit more effort when you're driving around, but it also makes it more fun. You know, I mean, you're doing more things, you're more engaged, you're becoming a better driver by, you know, having that awareness of, okay, I have to shift now, or, you know, okay, I have to do this. And so it makes it a really fun process for those of you, again, who are wanting to learn. And this is a great car for the money. We're getting into a lot of newer stuff. I mean, yeah, it still has some older technology, but it's very simplistic and it's easy to learn on. Again, it's easy to drive. I'm coming from a background of, my first car was a big car, was a 1990 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. I've had a sedan DeVille that was a similar generation. I've had a Pontiac Grand Prix. I've had a Subaru Forester. And so, I mean, I've had kind of a variety so far. And, I mean, while I do miss some of the space of having a big sedan or a, you know, a bigger, like, wagon, so to speak, I do like the fact that this is definitely more maneuverable in parking lots and in different situations. And on the road, it's... you know, like I said, I mean, there still is a lot of perks to having this kind of car. And, you know, again, I mean, it's nice that you can get it for that price point for all the different value that you get out of this car. So before we go any further, I'm just going to do a little bit of a quick, we'll call it a 0 to 60 for you guys, and just kind of run through the gears and see what you think here for the power. I don't think it's terrible. However, like I said, other cars are definitely faster. So here we go. Second, third, fourth, and there's 60, fifth. So I mean, it's not a rocket, right? But I mean, it will get up to speed fairly quickly depending on how fast you want to shift. Now again, I would not recommend for a beginner just, you know, slamming through the gears, dumping the clutch, going, you know, full bore out of the gate. But this is a very, very good car, again, to kind of, you know, learn the speed, you know, and different things, and, you know, learning about, you know, hearing the engine kind of, you know, what the sounds, you know, as they go up in the RPM, just different things like that. Again, you know, this is one of those cars that really shows that it's like, you know, anybody can drive a stick and enjoy it, and it's not that difficult. I mean, it's really just getting out of first gear. I've had a lot of people ask me, you know, how bad is it driving a stick? I can't believe that you own a manual transmission now. And honestly, I always wanted to. And so me having this car now for 6 months, it gives me a good idea. Okay, it's like, okay, now I can drive a lot of these other cars that have, you know, sticks. It opens up your options a lot, especially me as a car enthusiast, to drive a lot of different stuff and not feel so, you know, limited to what I can drive based on because I can't, you know, shift correctly. But it's kind of nice now where, I mean, it's a nice, like I said, it's a pretty, you know, easy car to get going, and like I said, find that clutch point and just start, you know, like I said, you don't have to shift. Like I said, I mean, when you're everyday driving, it's very easy to just go kind of nice and easy, nice and slow, and, you know, not putting a lot of stress on the car. You're just kind of going through the gears. But again, I mean, you know, getting average of, I think, you know, when this car came out, they talked about maybe 35, 36 miles to the gallon. I mean, I'm getting usually 33 to 34 for my average, which I think is pretty good. I mean, as far as, now this car is a smaller tank. I believe it's just under 12 gallons. But, you know, overall for what you get, and, you know, I mean, the package, the materials, just, you know, this is a good car for the money. I can't stress that enough, that, you know, if I had to do it over again, I'd still probably buy this car just because of the space factor. I mean, I can fit my full-sized mountain bike in here. Now keep in mind, my bike still has 26-inch wheels, and it's a little bit smaller frame than, you know, probably what is the recommended size for me, because I like to go biking a lot. So instead of having a rack, I actually just, you know, fit the bike in here. And so I have to take both wheels off to do so. of stuff that I already fit in here. I know the previous owner before me actually, used to go ice fishing a lot, and so he used to put actually his portable fish house right in this thing, and it fit actually okay. And that was, I think, a single or a two-man ice fish house. But that's, kind of, again, if you're watching this from a different state, you know exactly kind of where I'm coming from. Then I'm from the Midwest. We're actually coming from Alexandria, Minnesota right now. So I am in the old great state of 10,000 lakes, doing this quick kind of 6-month review for you guys. But again, if you're just in the market, for this kind of car, again, I would highly recommend it. I think that they are a great value, and overall, like I said, I mean, it's just, you can't get much of an easier, especially manual transmission, for this amount of money. I mean, good Lord. I mean, I know a lot of these years of Focus has had a lot of automatic transmission issues, and so did the Fiestas. And I know some people are not huge Ford fans, but honestly, guys, if you drive different vehicles like I have, as far as, and if you can watch the different reviews out there or read the different magazines, they all say the same thing as far as, I mean, it's like, this thing has, especially, like I said, I mean, now that you can buy them in the used market for, under, $5,000-$6,000, they have a great, shifter. I mean, again, these are not built as race cars, but for your economy commuter, or just for a person who wants to learn, they are a great car. And the sound quality in here isn't that bad, as far as, I mean, like, the stereo and stuff still sounds good. The CD player still works, which I know a lot of people now, of course, are using the phone setup, but I still play CDs sometimes. But I mean, everything else, I mean, the lights are nice. All the lights are actually, so the front, I believe, are still just like a regular halogen setup. The rear is actually more of like an LED setup, and also your license plate light is also LED, which I've never had before, so that's kind of a cool thing. But again, I mean, this is a 2014 vehicle, so it's kind of to be expected that it's, something a little bit newer. But again, I would just, I can't stress it enough that this is a vehicle that I think is undervalued, from the aspect of, I think that, Hondas get a lot of the praise for being the reliable one, or the rev happy one. And yes, I think that a Honda is a great option. Honestly, if I go to, for my next vehicle, I might actually go to like a Honda Civic Si, or, I'm actually contemplating about going back to an automatic for a little bit, and then possibly having a manual car on the side. And not that, again, that driving stick is any bad, but it is convenient sometimes when you are, for me, when I commute, and if I go into a bigger area with more lights and more stop signs and such, that it is kind of nice sometimes to just, get in the car and go, and not have to worry about, pushing in a clutch or anything. But, overall, I think that, like I said, for the amount of engagement and driver connection that you get, especially, again, for that price point, this is a very, very good option. And that's, something that, again, I'm going to be trying to do some more reviews in the future as I still figure out things in the video. And I apologize right now for if the phone was a little bit shaky in the back, but that's just kind of how I have it set up right now, as I'm still learning with some of my gear that I have. And so, but yeah, I want to thank you guys again for watching the review. If you guys are in the market, definitely check these out and go for a drive. And yeah, let's just keep the manual transmission alive while we can. So anyways, with that, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.